Guys, literally look at him. How am I supposed to disturb him like this? Do you have anything to say? Wow. Thank you so much. Hope you heard that. Sir, please. Okay, now he's leaving. I've gotten him to leave. Hey, it's me, GB, and you're probably wondering what the fuck is going on right now. Who is this person in front of me, and where am I? Let's be honest. We're all thinking it. Welcome back to my channel. If you don't know who I am, which is I'm trying a new thing with a mic, so I don't know if this is good or bad. And there are two cats that are trying to get all up in my business right now. I apologize if the sound is weird, if I'm weird, or you can hear things happening in the background. So sorry. I'll try to fix it in post if it gets a little funky, but here we are. We're trying this out today, and we're going to see what happens. Hello, welcome back to my channel. I haven't posted in over a year. I am in a very familiar looking spot. However, you've probably never seen her before, because why would you know this area of my new apartment? Yeah, if you have never seen me before and you're not interested in a life update, I won't get too much into it. There's other videos that I plan on making that will talk a little bit more about what's been going on in my life and how I'm doing now. Oh, and he's joining me. Welcome, Duck. Welcome back. If you saw at the beginning, you saw that he was sitting here, and now he's just gonna sit on me, which is totally fine. Yeah, I won't bore you too much with the details. There will be videos in the future that kind of talk about why I took so long of a break. And who knows, I might just take just as long of a break again. I don't know what the future holds. Ow, please stop biting me, for myself and my creative aspects. And now I'm talking so much louder than I was before because my heater turned off. But yeah, I just wanted to come back and wish everyone a happy new year and start off my year with my 2026 TBR list. So I did get through quite a few books this past year. I honestly have not taken the time to count how many I read last year, because I kind of went up and down in my reading slumps and being really into reading. So it's an unknown number. I would say I read probably more than 20 and less than 40 books this past year, probably leaning more on the 2025 end. And I would like to read more this coming year. So I have a problem with tiny libraries. If you guys have never seen them around, you can just look up a map of whatever tiny libraries, or little libraries as I usually call them. I think that's their actual name that they refer to them as, is little libraries. And there's quite a few around this area. There was quite a few where I used to live, and the apartment before that I was living in Chicago. So I have collected a wide variety of books that I need to actually get through and read. And some of the pile that I'm going to talk about today are books that I will be keeping afterwards, whether for sentimental reasons or if I just really like that author. But I'm trying to be very good about being intentional about what books I am collecting series-wise, and the books that I keep after I've finished reading them. So I did get rid of a lot of books, despite the fact that you may not be able to tell. I don't know if you can see this bookshelf right over here. It's kind of cut off, but I have another one, and then the piles of books that we will be going through today. So I'm excited to get into it. I have started collecting some older series that I read when I was a kid, like the Warrior Cat series and the Magic Treehouse series, but we'll get into that in another video. I've been doing a lot of thrifting lately and stuff like that, and yeah, super exciting stuff. So I don't know, I might film more than one video today, so you might see me in this outfit more than once. I'm just like feeling motivated again, and for a while I wasn't feeling motivated to be putting on any sort of video and editing it and all that kind of stuff. So I'm excited to be tentatively back. But yeah, this is one corner of my house. I am going to do some sort of like kind of in progress apartment tour. I live in a studio apartment now. I have not shown my last apartment that I lived in, and I did not end up filming. It's like the first apartment that I have never filmed a tour of. And when I was in college, I only filmed a tour of my bedroom for some of the apartments. When I was living with roommates, I would still kind of like do kind of a half apartment tour. But honestly, the reason for that is that we like did not have enough space for all of the stuff that we had. And I just feel like we got the apartment to a really good place, and then it was only in that spot for a very short amount of time before we both started like packing up things and trying to figure out where we were going next. And I love my roommate, like to no fault of either of us. We were both just going through a lot that year that we were living there, and going through a lot of health changes and just life changes. And yeah, it was definitely not the best apartment to live in either. I feel like you get this in cities a lot where like it can be good or it can be really bad. And it was not really bad, but it wasn't great, is what I will say. So, you know, here we are in the new apartment, loving life. And I just know I signed a 2-year lease for this place, so I know it's going to take me a little bit longer to curate things. But I also would love you guys to see the progress that I've made so far and be able to like make any comments about how you think I should change things or make them better or different. And Doug has finally settled, as I can see my battery blinking. So at some point, the angle may change on this. Mr. Duck may end up leaving, but he's chilling right now. I'm chilling right now. And we're going to actually get into the video. I apologize for the long intro, but yeah, some basic things about me. If you don't know who I am, I'm Grace, or GB. I live in Chicago. And yeah, I'm a theater artist. I run a theater company in Chicago called Foul Play. If you didn't know that, I don't think I've ever talked about that on here. My roommate and best friend started the company, and now I run it. We ran it together, but she is studying for her master's right now, so she is no longer in Chicago. I'm an actor and creative person who also works like a normal job as a school receptionist, and I live in a studio apartment. My pronouns are she, they. That has changed, which, you know, you guys might have some questions about. I'm autistic, if you didn't know that, and I'm also lesbian and identify as queer. So we can get into all of that in a separate video, but just to introduce myself, that's who I am, and we're going to jump into my 2026 TBR. Starting out, unfortunately, I did try my hardest to get through a bunch of books before the school year, not school year, the year ended. Jesus, I'm about to go back to school, and you can kind of tell. But I have this pile of books here that is kind of my, we'll say it's my January TBR, finishing TBR. So it's supposed to be my December TBR. And I do have one more book that I'm about halfway through that I'm finishing that honestly I can't be bothered to go grab right now. So I have to finish that one too. But I tried to separate it into kind of a variety of genres, because I don't read a lot of nonfiction. I don't read a lot of historical fiction. I really enjoy fantasy and sci-fi, and usually a lot of like young adult or like early adult leaning. I don't know how to describe it. But yeah, mainly fantasy, mainly anything like that. But I do have some classics, I do have some plays, I do have some more like acting kind of books or nonfiction books that I would like to read. And that is the book that is over there. It's kind of like you can have more power over people by what you say than you think kind of vibe. It's fine. I'm not clearly whipping through it because it's taken me so long to finish, but it's all right, and I will finish it. So we shall see. But these are all of the books that are in my January TBR, we'll call it. So we have Wuthering Heights. I did read this in AP Lit class, but I figured since the new Wuthering Heights movie is coming out, which plot twist I'm not very excited about for reasons, but we won't get into that right now. Basically, the casting choices. I wanted to read it again so that I can rip apart the new movie, basically, with how terrible it is compared to the book. Anyway, if you have more questions about that, you can discuss in the comments. This is Under the Whispering Door by TJ Klune. I'm also part of the way through this. I would say I'm about a third of the way through this. And I don't know. I read The House on the Cerulean Sea, House at the Cerulean Sea. It's another TJ Klune, and it was a very beautiful, like, queer love story kind of vibe. And this one is about the afterlife. And I like this one less than I liked the other one. Still don't know if it's a queer story yet because we haven't really gotten to that point, but the main character is just like intentionally very unlikable, and I do really have problems with main characters if I don't like them. Like, I'm not interested in reading the rest of it when I'm just pissed off at you. Like, I get that way about a lot of young adult kind of like heroines because they're written so badly. Just badly, quite frankly. Okay, this one is Hag Forgotten Folktales Retold. So this is, I'm really interested in the concept of this, and I've read quite a few Greek mythology books that are kind of based off of this idea, but retelling, especially women-focused stories, like ancient stories, from a different perspective. So I'm very interested in this. The like format of it is a little bit weird just because it's not actually a full book. It's like different stories within the book, which sometimes can get a little funky for me because usually I want to finish the whole book, or like I feel like I have to get through the whole story because there's not like real chapter markers. So that can either be a good thing or a bad thing, but I did purchase that from a local bookstore in Chicago, so I'm happy to support them. And just for context as well, my cat is scratching his cat tree. It's fine. Honestly, I'd rather have him scratch the cat tree than scratch all of my wicker furniture, which is something that we've been fighting about. I'm not going to be keeping any of these except for the Wuthering Heights book, just because I think it's a classic and like I'd like to keep it afterwards, especially with our government and how like book banning, book burning starts. You can never have enough books, especially problematic books or things that are viewed as like banned books. I just think that it's good to have a physical collection, and that goes for these two books as well, which are my last two. So this is an introduction to Alexander technique. This is called body learning, and it's a technique for maintaining health and efficiency in the body that is used by a lot of actors or kind of performing arts practitioners. And I'm currently watching Goose try to get up on this fucking cat tree, and he almost Mufasa'd himself. When I go into some of my health issues, you might understand more why I am looking to read this book. But I had one of my former acting teachers who started training herself in Alexander technique, and I want to check in with her again and kind of like do like a FaceTime and stuff like that. And I want to bring that up when I do. So I'd like to read that book before we have like our little check-in kind of thing, and see if she has any advice for me. Lastly, Angels in America. Again, keeping this one. This is a play. Andrew Garfield was in the Broadway, or no, it was a London performance. I think it's on like Broadway on Demand or something like that. But I really, really, really love this play. Like, I've never read this full play, but we did scenes from it in college, and I've heard very, very, very good things. And I'm really sad that I did not get to see this while it was put on in Chicago recently. It's very bad about not being able to see it. I think reading it is the next best thing. That is my like immediate TBR. Those are the things that I'm focusing the most on over the next month. And then we have my kind of further out TBR that I guess you could categorize almost by months as well. I have these right here. This is kind of like 2 months. I have another section of the pile, which I will show you when I'm done with these. But we have The Count of Monte Cristo. So this is another classic that I am looking forward to reading. I have With This Kiss by Carrie Hope Fletcher. Really like her work. Have not read a lot of her work in a while, so I'm excited to see how that goes. Usually she's pretty quick for me. She's a pretty good writer, so that also helps to be able to speed through. I feel like it really depends. If it's not content that motivates me, it's writing that motivates me. So unfortunately, if the content is bad and you're a bad writer, like, I'm not gonna like the book. Forging Silver into Stars. Don't know what this is about. Oh, maybe this is a series. Was I supposed to read the other ones first? We might come back with this one. Has anyone read this one? Do you know? Is this part of a series? Am I supposed to read another one first? Because that's what it seems like. I think I found that at the little library. Also, again, if you hear in the background my cat, I'm gonna lose it. The Wind in the Willows. Never read this, but also one that I really, really want to read. Another kind of more classic one. And then we have Double Trouble Society, also by Carrie Hope Fletcher. So this is her children's novel. So a little bit more, well, innately childish, but again, easier reading, which is why I feel like having kind of like two classics kind of gets canceled out by the children's book. And then we have these 4 books as well. Oh my god, there's so much dirt on here. That's how long it's been. No, it's actually just my children knocking over my plants onto things. I have this, which is Quantum Fuzz, the strange true makeup of everything around us. This is like quantum physics, quantum mechanics kind of stuff, which I'm very intrigued in multiverse theory and all of that. If you've watched the new Stranger Things, you know what's going on. Love that I just went through this and didn't even hold it up. Daisy Jones and the Six. This is, I believe, a new TV series. Is it a series or is it a movie? Streaming series. That's what it says on the front of the book. Really interested in that. Have not seen the series, so I'm excited to read the book. I read Evelyn Hugo, 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, and really liked that one. Cried quite a bit, but I enjoyed it, so there you go. Next, I have Regrettably, I Am About to Cause Trouble. So I believe this one is about kind of like Tudor style witches era. Very interested. I'm always interested in any books about witches. And then we have The Change, which I believe is about like women, and yeah, it's kind of like a little bit of a supernatural kind of vibe, but also just like how women are treated and how they react to things and all of that, which super excited for that. That is my first pile. And then we are going to move into my second pile. Another classic. We have Little Women, which, if you can believe it, I've never read. So that's another one that's going to be staying after I finish reading it. I don't think The Count of Monte Cristo will. Wind in the Willows probably will. And I'll keep the 2 Carrie Hope Fletcher books. But other than that, I will probably get rid of the rest of those books before I am... well, when I'm done reading them, obviously. And then we have Kate Morton, author of The Lake House, The Forgotten Garden, which is apparently a New York Times bestseller. So it's giving very mystery vibes. So I guess we'll see. God in the Shed by J.F. Dubois. Interested in this one as well. Seems like very horror vibes. Then we have Daughters of Sparta, which I'm excited about, especially because it said required reading for fans of Circe, which I've read as well. So this is another kind of like mythology retelling, which again, I said I love because I do. This is the rest of my pile. We have A Winter's Promise. This is supposed to be March, but it's kind of giving a little bit of Harry Potter is what they say on there. So I don't know, but that intrigues me, obviously. And yes, we have another mythology retelling as well, A Thousand Ships by Natalie Haynes. We have this one, which is just so like 80s themed, which I'm so obsessed with. Especially with Stranger Things and how that has been going. The new season came out, and you know, I don't know how I feel about the ending. I don't know how I feel about it. But this is My Best Friend's Exorcism. Yay! Then we have Delia's Shadow, which I'm very excited about as well. Very like haunting and creepy. And the last thing that I have on my 2026 TBR list for physical books is This Changes Everything: Capitalism versus the Climate, which is just so topical. And I probably rant about capitalism far more than anyone actually wants to hear about. So love to be able to read a book that has all of that information in it. You may be wondering, Grace, is that all of your TBR for the year? And you know, probably not. I do have the entire Game of Thrones series as well that I would like to read. I have the entire Outlander series that I would like to read. I'm also very interested in reading I don't know what the series is actually called, but it's The Golden Compass would be the first one of the series, that book series. I actually found the second book in a little library pretty recently, so I'm trying to keep an eye out for the rest of them. I'm also looking for old copies of Lord of the Rings so that I can finally actually read that, because I've only read The Hobbit and then I stopped reading it because I was like, sorry guys, this is too much for me. But yeah, that's kind of other things that are on my list. I also over here have a lot of spiritual kind of like meditation, mindfulness books that I will probably be interspersing into all of the more fantasy and nonfiction or classical books that I have. But I'm very excited for the next year, and I hope you have had a happy and healthy year so far. I hope that you're staying informed and also not getting overwhelmed by things and the way things are in the world right now. And hopefully I will continue to see you in videos in the future, and hopefully we can have this shared space. So if you guys have any questions for me, please leave them down below. If you haven't already, you can feel free to subscribe to my channel. Hopefully I'll be posting every week, but we will see what happens. We'll see what I can handle with my health, and I'm really trying to not make videos that I'm not excited about. And I think I wasn't excited for videos for a long time, and I've started getting a little bit more excited about things. So I can't wait to see where that takes me in the future. Yeah, if you guys are interested in more about me or also about Foul Play, the theater company that I run, I will leave all of that information down below. If you'd like to check out my previous video, I believe it is on this side of the screen, and my previous vlog is on that side of the screen. but I'll have to remember. I don't even know if I'm going to use my old end card. Like, I think I might make a new one and kind of reconfigure where things are. So we'll just say that my previous video is on this side of the screen, my previous vlog is on that side of the screen, and it will be. Hope you guys have a great one, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.